Hey guys, Foxdrop here with a question and answer video. It's always fun to answer the questions that you guys get, and I figured instead of just trawling through loads of YouTube comments and tweets and Facebook messages, I may as well do this video series where you guys can pitch to me your questions and I answer them for you. You can pick my brain, you can ask me about League of Legends, you can ask me about other things as well. You get to know me a bit more as well, and I think it should be fun. So let's get this started. Before we get started, I want to apologise about some things really quick. Firstly, I'm sorry if the lighting isn't ideal. Secondly, I'm sorry you're going to have to look at this piece of crap. That's actually my green screen that I use when I'm streaming. It's not ideal, but it works. And thirdly, yes, that's thirdly, I'm sorry about how messy my bed is. There is as you can see, there's a little bit of a monster sleeping on it right now. So I apologise for those things. Hopefully you can still focus on the video though, and hopefully we can have some fun. Now, because I haven't done one of these videos before, the way I got the questions was I asked people on Facebook to ask me questions. For the next episode, because I'm still finding the easiest way to go about this, if you just want to tweet me at Foxdrop, and we'll see how that goes, ask me your questions, and you may have your question featured in the next episode. So the first question of this Ask Foxdrop we have from Alex Toval. He says, if you're on tilt and losing matches consecutively, what do you do to pick yourself up and get out of it? Well, this is a pretty easy one for me to answer straight off the bat because I've actually done a video on this. I dedicated a whole video on what to do when you go on losing streaks, so I'll put a link to that in the description so you can watch it. But really, just long story short, you want to take a break from the game is a really important thing to do because you don't want to just keep playing and keep forcing yourself to be in this horrible tilt you're in. And the more you feed into this kind of negative spiral by playing poorly, the worse you'll play, the worse you'll feel, and it's just going to end horrifically. Next question we have here from Brian Santizo. He says, what jungler would you pick for slippery champions like Lee Sin, Fizz, Lissandra, and LeBlanc? If I was going to give you one jungler that I think is the best for locking people down who are slippery, it would definitely be Vi. The reason for that is because whenever you have someone who's slippery, the way you take them out is by locking them down with crowd control. And Vi's ultimate is the best ultimate in the game for locking people down. You just pop it on someone, you chase them across the whole bloody map, lock them down, and you can get some really easy kills on them. She's really good for that situation. If you're finding that you're playing versus someone who's very slippery and you're getting very frustrated, next time you should pick Vi. This was the most upvoted comment on the Facebook. It's from Richard Hodgetts. He says, if you could play as the jungler for any professional team, who would it be and why? If I could be the jungler for any professional team, it would have to be the old Moscow 5 because I just love the way they play. I thought they were all really aggressive and I find that really fun to watch. However, I wouldn't want to replace Diamond Prox because he was an absolute beast. Even now, I'm a bit of a Diamond Prox fanboy. I'm also a fanboy of Cloud9 and Meteos. So those two are probably the teams I would want to be on just because I like the way they play. However, I wouldn't want to replace the junglers who are on those teams. On the other hand, I do like watching them in action, especially in international events. Even though the Western teams are always a bit of an underdog, when I went onto Vulcan.com and I drafted my fantasy team for IEM Katowice, I went for a team full of Cloud9 and Moscow 5. Now, that may not be the safest bet. I did put some money on those and I may not get my money back, but still, it's all about the pride, you know, it's about the Western pride. I don't know if you're interested in putting your money where your mouth is for IEM Katowice, but if you are, then you should just go visit the Vulcan website. I'll put a link to that in the description. You can use a invite code Foxdrop and you'll get $50 off. So if you just want to put your money where your mouth is when it comes to IEM, go ahead and do that. So that's kind of another question. If you want to know who I think will win IEM Katowice, then my brain says GE Tigers, but my heart definitely says Gambit. Austin Scharnhorst, I hope I'm saying that right, probably not, asks, how do you get your team in SoloQ to listen to your shot calls? This is a tricky one to answer because it doesn't always work. Like sometimes you just play with teams who will not listen to you and you just have to accept that. I suppose that's kind of like the first step to trying and to control your teams, is to accept that you can never fully actually control them. Now, the last piece of advice I can give regarding that is to not get too critical of people who do not follow your orders. In fact, you should really expect it. You should expect people to not follow your orders and instead be happy when they actually do. If you do start criticizing or arguing with people who aren't doing what you tell them to do, you're just going to come across as bossy and it's going to create a rift in your team that is not going to be very good for you. At the end of the day, it may be a team game, but it is also called solo queue. You're on your own, and to an extent you have to learn how to best carry a game being on your own. The last question is from Hamid, and he asked if you could point out any other good League YouTubers, either educational, funny, doing montages, who would they be? I would say Fire is good for educational stuff, so is GBay99. Red Mercy is also good as well. Shakarez is good, you should look him up too. Gaming Curios is good as well. Impact is nice as well if you're a support player. For entertaining stuff, always Spazzy. Spazzy is just a league god. And Peace Pigeon, like Obamacare, they're very good as well. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. However, there are a load of good League YouTubers that you can discover on YouTube. So I think that will do it for this first episode of Ask Foxdrop. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too boring or too dull to look at, and I hope the messy bed in the background wasn't too distracting. If you do have questions that you want to ask me for the next episode, like I say, tweet them at me at FoxdropLol. For the future episodes, I may do like YouTube comments as well, but I'm just trying things out for now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching the video, guys. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you in my next video.